A major announcement from Victoria's Secret today. The women's beauty brand closing its operations for good and apologizing for ever thinking women could be hot enough to look good in their underwear. Hear what their CEO had to say for himself. From The Onion and Onion Public Radio, I'm Leslie Price, and this is The Topical. You could visit a newspaper's website and decide for yourself what's worth paying attention to, or you could just sit back and leave all the thinking to us. Sounds pretty good, don't it? Stay with us. The often scrutinized lingerie brand made a stunning about-face today, announcing that after months of deep reflection over modern beauty standards and the brand's role in it, Victoria's Secret will shut down all operations due to overwhelming evidence that women were never actually hot enough to look good in the company's lingerie in the first place. Victoria's Secret posted a video on its Twitter page this morning announcing the shuttering of all manufacturing of slip-ons, panties, halters, thongs, and other sensual nighttime wear for the foreseeable future. CEO John Mayhaw had this to say in the video.
We had to face a hard truth today. For decades, women of all shapes and sizes just have been a little too ugly to wear our underwear. For us to think otherwise was a mistake, and we understand that now. The beauty industry needs to evolve, and that begins with us realizing that it's not right to expose our product to the hideous and unevolved female form.
OPR's Rebecca Neal has been following the story and joins me now. Hello, Rebecca.
Hi, Leslie.
So what went into this massive decision?
Victoria's Secret executives took a long, hard look at their operations and found that the brand had an undeniable history of setting unrealistic standards for women that made them feel like they were good-looking enough to pull off lacy boy shorts or see-through nighttime slips meant to tease out the shapes of their nipples. Here's Mayhaus again.
We simply had blinders on, thinking that any living female could pull off our hot pink thongs covered in rhinestones. We were so foolish.
And how is the fashion world reacting?
With shock, but several of the brand's star lingerie models actually applauded the brand's new stance. Here's Victoria's Secret angel Lily Aldridge in a video posted to Instagram.
I'm 6'2", I weigh 105 pounds, and I haven't had a blemish on my skin for 5 years. Victoria's Secret has always made me believe I'm at the standards for what makes a woman beautiful. But the truth is, I'll never be sexy enough for Victoria's Secret. I'm ashamed I ever thought I could pull off a strappy lace bikini panty that sits just below my crack.
Wow, and is there any hope that women could evolve one day to be the hot babes Victoria's Secret demands them to be?
Mayhaus isn't holding out hope, but he did address that in his announcement on Twitter today.
Maybe one day, your daughters, or your daughters' daughters, will actually be banging enough to strap giant wings on their backs and walk down my runway in silky pajamas, looking like hairless bombshells below the neck. But we're unfortunately a long, long way from that day. It's time for women to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to look better.
So what are women supposed to do now if they can't spend thousands on thin straps of itchy, lacy material being passed off as underwear?
Victoria's Secret did say that women could continue purchasing the brand's lotions and perfumes to give them the sense of what it feels or smells like to be an attractive woman, but discouraged them from thinking for a second they are actually pretty.
Interested to see how this plays out. That's OPR's Rebecca Neal. Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Transportation company Lime is best known for its electric scooters and bikes urbanites can rent whenever they get the urge to zip around typical vehicular traffic. Now the San Francisco company is launching their next big product, eCubes, which are just 150-pound green electric cubes citygoers can drag, push, or roll with them to their destination. Lime spokesperson Brenda Kane had this to say at a press conference unveiling the eCube in Pittsburgh, where they're piloting the program.
You already love our electronic bikes and scooters, but we wanted to continue pushing ourselves to discover what's next in transportation. And we think we have an answer. A bright green 10 by 10 foot block called the eCube. All you have to do is use your Lime app to unlock the cube, and then voila, the cube is all yours. For just $1 a minute.
OPR's Marcy Hammond has been following the rollout in Pittsburgh, and she's here with us now. Marcy, what in the hell is this?
Leslie, Lime swears this is the future of transportation, so much so that the company lined the streets of Pittsburgh with 2,000 towering cubes. But so far, customers have been apprehensive to rent the cubes and at times just downright confused by them. Most of the Pittsburgh residents I spoke with either prodded the cube bewilderingly or tried to find doors on it that would let them inside.
I really like Lime scooters, so I was eager to try the eCube to see what it was all about. But after I rented it, the app just told me to start pushing with the force of 20 strongmen to best experience my cube.
Why is it not moving? I have to get to work. I'm gonna be late. Stupid fucking thing!
One particularly fit woman I talked to was able to successfully roll the eCube for about 20 feet, but the block eventually tipped into oncoming traffic, causing a 4-car pileup. Lime says early hiccups like these are common with any rollout of a tech product.
Well, no launch is perfect, but we still believe the eCube is the most convenient way to get around town quickly and safely. We also want to remind customers that they can rent a Lime brand dolly for just $75 an hour to make your cubing more convenient.
It's interesting. Now, Marcy, did you find anyone who actually enjoyed the eCubes?
Well, a group of teens I saw a few hours ago did seem to enjoy spray painting the phrase "fuck my box" on an eCube, but overall they're just in the way and everyone hates them.
Thanks, Marcy. I look forward to seeing the eCubes blocking our city sidewalks soon. That's OPR's Marcy Hammond.
Thanks, Leslie.
Police in Carson City, Nevada are on the hunt for a serial killer that's been terrorizing the city, even though officials admit that they've so far been pretty unimpressed by the culprit who apparently just shoots his victims. OPR's Remy Berglund has been following the story and joins us now from Carson City. Hello, Remy.
Hi, Leslie. Carson City Police are calling this one of the most underwhelming serial killers this city has ever seen. Police Chief Bethany Cordova announced that an 8th victim was found today in what she is calling a chilling yet uncreative rampage across the area. Here she is addressing the media earlier today.
Walking up to members of our community and shooting them to death without doing much else is, to be honest, kind of a snooze fest. But rest assured that we will catch this uninspired individual and bring them to justice.
Wow, and do police have any evidence to go on?
Well, nothing too exciting, mostly just bullet casings.
Yeah.
Police have been unable to find any links between the killings or even a unique calling card that would make him stand out.
So he doesn't take any sort of trophies from the body, like cutting off the tongue or keeping the genitals?
No, nothing. He just shoots them.
That's incredibly disturbing.
Yeah, reporting on this hasn't been easy, and authorities are showing signs of being frustrated as well. Later on in Police Chief Cordova's press conference, she had a message for the killer.
If you're out there listening, you can't run forever. Turn yourself in, or at least shake things up a bit. Like, it would be cool if, and I'm just spitballing here, you took the heads. Oh, or you took the heads and replaced them with doll heads. That would be so fucked up. Whatever you decide, just please use your imagination.
Police sound very determined, but what happens if the killer doesn't heed the chief's message?
Well, Cordova and her team are still holding out hope that after capturing the killer, they'll at least be able to find a freezer somewhere full of chopped up body parts.
Let's hope they do. OPR's Remy Berglund reporting from Carson City. Try not to get too bored out there, Remy.
Too late.
Not every piece of news can be as sexy as an unsolved string of murders, and that's okay because you can just ignore those ones. They're boring. Kind of like these. Here's what else you need to know today. A new study published today has found a direct correlation between getting your hand stuck in a mouse hole while trying to steal its cheese and being an idiot. Researchers at Stanford said they would have published these findings sooner, but the mouse holes turned out to be smaller than expected, and it took them longer than they thought it would to get their hands out. And with more Americans heading out for some fun in the summer sun, the U.S. Department of Recreation is urging some additional consideration, announcing once again that bowling is also always an option. Yeah, we heard you the first time, Department of Recreation. We don't want to go bowling. It sucks. And in entertainment news, my sister just sent me an adorable video of my little nephew Jaden, and he is just hamming it up, singing into the TV remote like it's a microphone while he dances around the living room. Oh man, I think he's going to be a big star someday. If you'd like to see the video for yourself, just text me and I'll send it to you. And that's the topical for today. I'm Leslie Price. You know, when I was growing up, there were no podcasts, so we had to get a little more creative with how we masturbated out in the woods. We had to use our imagination. What I'm saying is you should be grateful this show exists, and you should show your appreciation by subscribing to The Topical wherever you get your podcast. And be sure to tune in next time when we'll sit down with a neurosurgeon who was lucky enough to turn the hobby he was most passionate about into a career. Lucky guy. All that and more next time on The Topical. The news doesn't stop just because this YouTube video has. For even more on all the worst things happening in the world right now, listen and subscribe to The Topical on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, you insatiable news freaks.